For centuries, Scotland had one of the best education systems in the world. But that is not the case today under the SNP. Attainment has been falling for years. As the recent PISA reviews show, standards in literacy, mathematics and science are falling, and that, of course, is closing doors to children and young people in my seat. And their response, I'm afraid, in Glasgow has been to cut 172 teaching posts this year, with further cuts to come. And the attainment gap in Scottish schools is widening. Where you were born is becoming more important, not less important than it was, and barriers for poorer children are increasing. It's worth saying that this government is tackling one of the causes of the attainment gap, poverty, by introducing legislation that will make work pay, and tackling family poverty by increasing the national and living wage. But the SNP too are responsible for the attainment gap in our schools, and this is preventing young people getting good work and good jobs and being able to provide for their families. A simple example of their failure. Since 2010, there's been a material drop in school attendance. So if you're not going to school, you're not learning. And there's been a general worsening of behaviour in Scottish schools, which Scottish Government figures themselves show since 2016. Put simply, in many Scottish schools, parents, children and teachers have great fear and worry about school behaviour. Nicola Sturgeon made it clear that closing the attainment gap was her main objective, and the SNP have failed on this. Third, adult education, which the member for Folkestone and Hythe has spoken so compellingly about. This is absolutely critical for jobs for people in Scotland, and the OECD have carried out a study recently of Scottish adult education and other matters in the west coast of Scotland, where my seat is located. And they have reported that career guidance for adults is challenging to access. Financial incentives to invest in reskilling and upskilling workers are very low. And this has a terrible impact on low-paid workers in Scotland. And it has a real impact on economic growth in Scotland, and also matters such as transition from oil and gas to renewables, which is so critical.